made mention of CSS responsiveness, and we think someone said they can see my screen. All right, so let me refresh this page. We made mention of CSS responsiveness, and I said CSS responsiveness basically deals with user interface and user experience, right? But how does this actually work? You understand? How does it work? Because if you actually think about it, responsiveness means that for every screen sizes, you need to create something that works. For every screen, you need to create, for every devices, you need to create something that works. That also means that for every devices, you need to understand their minimum width and their maximum width for you to be able to create a design that works for each of them. You understand it now? So, for instance, you have your mobile phone. Your mobile phone is not as big as your laptop, which means that whatever you create on your laptop cannot be the same thing as, cannot be exactly the same as your mobile phone. So what you need to do is to what? Know the maximum width and the minimum width of your mobile, maximum width and the minimum width of your laptop, and build for each of those width, those screen sizes. That's where breakpoint comes into this matter now. So when we talk about breakpoints, right? Breakpoints are specific screen width where the layout or style or styling of a web page changes. So what does this mean? It means that when you have a mobile phone, right? So let's say you have a mobile phone of 480 pixels. Okay, I don't want to go into with yet. Let's say you have a mobile phone. Once your website exceeds that mobile phone maximum width, what happens? It breaks and changes into a design of another type of device. That is why when I try to resize, so let us resize, now let's try it for Microsoft Teams now. So if I try to resize this now, what happens? As you can see, it is going to change and try to fit into the maximum width of this. You understand? And again, if I do the same thing and I resize it here, it is going to change so that you have a good user. This is what user experience and interface means. This is what your breakpoint does. Now, every device has its own breakpoint. What is a breakpoint? Breakpoint is the minimum and the maximum width of a particular device. I gave an example of elasticity in our last class, and I said in physics that when you talk about elasticity, you're talking about like a stretching material or any material. So whenever you whenever it exceeds its elastic limit, what happens? It cuts or it breaks. That's exactly what your breakpoint is. Your breakpoint is that whenever it exceeds it or is lower than the normal breakpoint, what happens? It breaks. It automatically just scatters. You understand it now? So, but in this case now, you now need to like know each breakpoint so that whenever they now exceed their breakpoint, what happens is that they automatically move into the design of another device. So let me come to this place now. You have your mobile devices. Your mobile devices have a minimum breakpoint of 0 pixels and maximum width of what? 480 pixels. Your tablet has your tablet has 481 pixels. Okay. Now it has 481 pixels as the minimum width, maximum width of about 768. Laptops, minimum width of 769, maximum width of about 1024. Large screens and desktop, 1025 and 1200 as the maximum width. Now, what this is saying is that whenever a particular website, whenever the maximum width exceeds 480, what's that going to be the resolution now? The resolution shifts to a what? To a tablet, because it is now exceeding 480, and 481 is what? Your tablet, towards 768. Meaning that if let's say this is mobile, let's say this is mobile, right? Once I shift it a little bit and it exceeds maximum for mobile, what happens? It has moved into a tablet design. Why? Because you are doing that because whenever it exceeds it, it is easier for your design to automatically be structured for the next what's the name? For the next breakpoint or for the next device. Now, that is what your breakpoint does. Now, enough of the whole explanation on breakpoint. I think everybody should get breakpoint now. Is it clear to everybody? Good. Now, moving on, we have CSS responsiveness syntax. You have media queries, and I talked about media queries in our last class. Yes, we have breakpoints. We have how the minimum and maximum width of each device is. How then do we implement it? Your media query is what helps you implement this breakpoint. Your media queries is actually what help you set breakpoints for each of these devices. Now let us go ahead and try something. So now I'm going to cancel all the things that I did before in our last class under responsiveness, and I'm going to do it again so you can understand. So now let's say you want to build the mobile version of the landing page that we are working on. So I'm going to remove this and just title it mobile. So now let us come back here and let us check something out. So in this place, if I have everybody has an emulator, do you have your emulator? Okay, good. So now, if you check it out here, this is not looking good, right? It is looking very scattered, very disorganized, and all, very disorganized. And sorry, that reminds me, before we move on to the next lesson, I gave an assignment on Friday. I just remember that one now. I said, this particular image is supposed to be on top of this piece and not inside. No, when is it inside like this, it cuts it out. It's supposed to be outside like this. How many of us tried it and how many of us got it? Nobody. Nobody tried it. Everybody's just looking at me. Nobody tried it. Did you try it expression? Okay, you were not around. But you knew about the assignment now. Okay. You didn't get it. Okay. All right. So let us try again and try and get it between our Friday. If nobody gets it, I'll do it on Friday. But I need everybody to still try this out. Just try it out. It's not hard. Trust me. Okay, you have a question. If I tell you that I'll give you the answer, honestly, if I tell you yes or no, I'm giving you the answer. Even with this reply that I gave you, I'm kind of giving you the answer. So just think about it. What I'm just saying is, on the design, this thing is outside like this. You understand? But the reason why it is cutting the image that is not bringing it out is because this image is inside the header. So when you cut that header, what happens? Every single thing inside of the header that comes in the way cuts it. So how then do you now bring it out? Since it's inside the header, how then do you now bring it out and make sure that it is on this place like this? So that is the whole assignment for 10 marks. All right, so that's it. That's all about that. But if you can't get it between now and Friday, of course I'll still do it. But it's not. I just want everyone to try it. I'm not expecting you to get it. I'm expecting you to try it and feel at it. Then I will not explain it. All right. Mr. Shev, you said you have a question. Please go ahead.
Yes, I try it, but I'm having problem with the line. That is with the curve line.
Sorry, I didn't.
Can you hear me?
Please go ahead.
I tried the assignment. I'm having problem with the curve line. That is the only place I'm having issue with. Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you. Please can I go again? I think this network is just giving us. I
tried the assignment. I'm having problem with the curve.
Okay, please can you just help me text it? I think this network is bad.
Okay.
So please let me text it on. Yeah. Thank you. All right, so moving on, right? We are going to give this design a better look on mobile, because on mobile it looks very how would I put it? It doesn't look well at all. You have a question? You were in the last class. We did it. The just come to this place, click on it, then you see mobile simulator. You didn't install it in the last class. Okay, you were not in the last class. You were not here on Monday. Oh, okay. Just what you do is that you go to Google and search for mobile simulator. Search for mobile simulator, then you should see this first one or anyone. So just click on it and then you see how to Chrome. Guys, if you are using, guys, I always recommend Chrome for browsing. So for web development. So you should see how to Chrome. Then you can just click on it. All right. So as I was saying, right, this doesn't look nice on mobile at all. Doesn't look nice on mobile. So what do? We'd have to create a responsive design for it on your CSS. Now, the way you create your responsive design is just the same thing as what you've been doing for your desktop. You know, you just start writing codes and then work. But the only difference is that you have to first of all wrap whatever responsive design you want to give to it in a media query. How everybody get what I just said? The way you create your responsive design is almost similar to the same way you've been doing it before. You've been writing your design. The only difference is that your designs now have to be wrapped up in a media query. So what am I saying? Now, let's say I want to create a media, a design for mobile, right? Creating a design for mobile, first thing that I need to do is I need to first of all wrap it in a media query. And how do I write my media query? At media, right? Only screen, and we're going to have a max width. Max width, good. Max width of 480 pixels. So 460, is it 460? 480 rather. 480 pixels for mobile. You understand it now? So when I use 480, now as you can see, the first thing I have to do is first of all wrap everything up in a media query. Now it is this media query that now automatically, okay, I think what this person is trying to do is that they're trying to build for mobile. Similarly, if you want to do the same thing for tablet, so let's say your iPad, so let's say tablets/iPad, right? You have to do the same thing at media only screen, right? And then also max width of 768. Again, all your design goes into it. And for your desktop, let's say you want to do the same thing for desktop. How do you do it? Desktop. Although you've already built for desktop, right? That's the first thing you did. So at what media? Let me just go only. Then we have max width. Yeah, 1024. Do you understand it now? That's how you write all your media queries. But now in this case, what do we need? We are working with what? Mobile. So since we're working with mobile, all we just have to do is sorry, that's a mistake here. Okay, we don't need this yet. So we're working with mobile. Every single design goes into the mobile of what? 480 pixels. Right? So now right here, all we have to do now is now start styling. The same way you've been styling before, it's still the same way you are going to have to style right now. So now let's say that you want to work on the nav. You work on the nav in your normal design, right? All you have to do is still come here and say what? Nav. Simple. That's what you have to do. As you can see, it's still the same styling. The only difference is that what? You had to wrap it up in this media query. Because this media query is now what determines that, okay, this is now a mobile styling. All right. So moving on now. Before we even write now, I want you to look at this design and just think about something. Now, one thing about as a front-end developer is that you have to just think about what makes your website look good, because you are the one that is going to actually make the user happy. So think about what is going to make you happy. So if you're on an application, what is going to make you happy if you are looking at it? So if you look at this now, this is not looking nice. As a user, I have to scroll right here. And because I do not like stressing my hand and stressing myself, I will not want to scroll. I will leave the website. So how will I make it better? How will I make everything better that it is not going to affect me in a bad way? That's one thing that you have to think about. So now if you look at this place, so if you think at this place now, if you look at good morning. So if you look at this place now, what exactly are we going to do to get a better design? So I'm going to ask everybody, because again, this is a front-end class, so everybody needs to contribute. So looking at this now, how are we going to get, what should we do here? What should we do here? Miss Favor, let's start with you.
Or I actually noticed on websites, there's actually that hamburger, something like that.
Yeah.
Then the icon that
Then
needs to be the part of
no, leave the header. Just focus on the nav. See, you do it step by step. So for now, just leave the header and focus on the nav. Just a moment. Let me see if I can get. I'm looking for an example that I can show you. So look at this nav and let me know what you think we can do to the nav to make it look better on the mobile. That's it. So we reduce the width. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so she said we're going to reduce the width. Mr. Emmanuel, what do you think about it? You go with you go with her, all right? Mr. Kelvin, don't go with her, please. I want you to tell me something. You want to go with her? Ah, okay. All right. So, Mr. David, you want to go with her too? Okay. So, thank you very much. Tell me your own point of view. What do you think we are going to do here? Okay, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Okay, good. So 2 points now. Let me just write it down for us. So we'll reduce the width and we'll also reduce the logo. So what we want to do is reduce the width and then we'll also reduce the what? Reduce the logo. So 2 points now. Mr. Gochi. See, you're the next person. Or do you want to go with that? You want to go with everybody. So reduce the width and reduce the logo. Add your okay. Let us write it down. Max width of it. No. It's not actually. It's not a bad question. It's actually a nice question. So max width of fit content. So let's just write fit content. You don't like stress. So, all right. I will explain why it's not like that. But please give me your point. You were saying something before, Mr. Okay, so we're on the design now. So what are we going to do to it? We should make it fit to go to the gym. I don't think the weight, have you? Let me ask everybody a question. How were you able to get the nerve? See, first thing, like I said, she was saying something at the beginning, but she diverted his favor. So you were saying something that in the beginning, if you go to any website, whenever you see a mobile device, you only see one thing there, which is what? An hamburger menu. If you click on that hamburger menu, what happens? The link what drops down. So how are you going to solve this? You are going to solve this not by reducing the width, right? Not by reducing the width, but by first giving it a design, right, that accommodates a mobile view. Okay, let me explain what I'm trying to say. coming. Let me open up my root courses. Now let us use this as an example. You have curriculum, right? You have curriculum, right? Now, as you are seeing curriculum, I want you to check something out. So if you click on curriculum, what happens? Week 1, week 2, you see that something came out, right? But first of all, what are you seeing here? You're just seeing this. You're not seeing the links first. Now, that is how you're going to get your mobile view. You understand? Sorry, Mr. Emmanuel. Is it me? Let me tap. Mr. Emmanuel. We're recording, so it's entering it. Can I send me take it out? So we have curriculum. Now, if you click on it, what happens? It drops down. But the first thing I need to note is that you have this drop down menu, this drop down design. Now, I'm going to ask you a question again. I don't want to give you everything. I'm going to ask you a question again. What is the logical? Let me just explain it. So I don't want to turn our heads today. The first thing you have to do whenever you're trying to build a navigation bar for your mobile is that you need to first of all design how it is going to look like whenever you click on this hamburger menu. This hamburger menu is not HTML, it's not CSS, it is what? JavaScript. Mainly JavaScript. So that's what functionality. Do you understand it now? So before you go ahead and design any functionality at all, you need to first of all give it your HTML and CSS properties. You understand it now? So giving it your HTML and CSS, you have to design it and make it look like this first. Then you now go ahead and give it the functionality of what? Open and close. Now, let me ask you again. What is the first thing that comes to mind whenever you are working on your nav bar here? So what will you do now? I'm giving everybody the expo. I think everybody should be competing to speak now after this. With the explanation. Okay. What do we do to this nav bar now? Drop down, right? But before we put it in the drop down, it has to be on top of each other. So we have to change the flex direction. Very good. Now, on your normal, what's the name? On your normal device, it is what? It is on a row direction. In this case, we have to change to a column direction to make it on top of each other. That means, you see how that's why you have to first of all put them in a media query. So that's to answer your question. That's why you have to first of all put them in a media query. Because if I just go ahead and say display of flex and flex direction of column, what happens? It is going to change the original design that we've done. But right now, we're not putting it in a max width of 480 pixels. That means whatever we do here only affects from 0 to what? 480. Anything that exceeds 480 is not going to have that design. So now, right now, what I have to do is say nav, right? And we've given you now a display of flex before. So look at it. It already has a display of flex. So we don't need to give you display of flex again. All we have to do is change the flex direction to what? Flex direction, so colon. Now, if I save it up now and I come here, what are we going to have? It has changed. So gradually, we are having the design that we actually need. Do you understand it? Sorry, can you see it? Can you see it now? So, do we understand this? Is it clear to us? Should I explain it again? I should explain it again. I'll do it one more time so everybody understands it. Again, the first thing that we said that we have to do is to change the direction of this nav from being on a straight line to being on top of each other. Now, in our normal design, that's the desktop design, we give it the display of flex. And you know that the normal direction of display of flex is what? Row. That's the flex direction. So that's why when we give it display of flex here, we did not need to specify flex direction. It's automatically row. But in our nav, we cannot give it display of like flex direction of row. We can't give you that because it is just going to like overflow. They call it overflowing in. So now let me just, as you can see, it's always overflowing. See the button. It's overflowing. We cannot give it this. So what we need to do is that we need to put each of these things on top of each other so that the overflow is going to what? Stop. Now, moving on, how do we do that? First of all, you need to create your media query, right? Create your media, which we've done, and specify the elements you want to change the direction. You want to change the direction of the nav, right? So I can still come here and say display of what? Flex. Display of flex, right? Then flex direction of what? Flex direction of colon. Do you understand? This works. If you check it out now, the direction is going to change. Now, but what I'm just trying to say is that your nav already has this display of flex in the original design. All right, in the original design, right? So, sorry. So it already has the display of in the original design. So if you just go ahead and give it this again, you're just wasting time. You're wasting space. Just giving it a lot of light. So all you have to just remove the display of flex and give it flex direction of column. It automatically works. Because in the except you now want to change to like maybe grid, or you want to change to another direct or to another display, you cannot like specify display of what grid. You change it. But in this case, you're not changing the display. Just leave it like that, and it automatically works. Yeah. Do you understand it now? Up to an extent, or is it clear, Miss Favor? Yes. Okay. Any other? It's not okay. Go ahead. You have a question.
So apart from that, if we want this particular site, we need to keep specifying it inside the query.
Yes.
Why would you automatically just adjust the for each thing?
Okay. So let me try and explain. Let me give. I'm trying to look for like a real life scenario that I can give to So okay, I'm coming. Let me think of something. I'm going to use this fan as an example. Can I use the fan as an example? Let's use human as an example. Very good. Is it the same way you look when you were 2? Is that the same way you look now? What happened? You grew up, but as you were growing up, things were changing. There's like a constant change. That's the same thing with this. Like, let's say from 0 to 10, that's your desktop. Sorry, let me just quickly give it. Now, then from 10 to 20, that's your tablet. 20 to 30, that's what? Mobile. You understand it now? It's not exactly an automatic change because you have experiences all around that probably form you into who you are right now. So technically, it's not as if you just grew up. You did not just grow up. Things happen. And again, apart from that explanation, this is the rule. This is the rule of programming. You always have to specify the design for each screen. And again, just to like explain this thing, you are a developer. You probably don't want to, if you've gone to some websites don't have the same thing. So for instance, Facebook for example, it's not the same thing you see on mobile that you see on desktop.
Yes.
Have you seen it? So that means if you now put massive of 468 details, how will your computer know what you want? Because computers are not actually, they are not robots. They are not smart. That's the simple truth. You are the one that is actually smart enough to control it. So they don't know what you want. They only do what you tell them to do. So now, if you say, okay, I want to put this on the mobile, but I don't want to put this on the desktop, it is you that will specify it yourself. Not that you just know that, okay, max speed of 180 and it automatically works. So you have to like work for it. Please go ahead. I didn't get a question. Are you saying that so that if you want to share your website now, how people Yes. On your mobile phone? No. wait, you are done creating the website. The thing is that whatever you build is what you are going to see on your mobile phone. So if this is what you do and you are done, you've hosted your website and all of these things, this is what you are going to see. You're not going to see anything different. Yes, because that's what you did. Yes, you have to still specify your design. That's what I was explaining, that you have to still specify. Even giving it for execution does not, it just tells you that, okay, you've created a base that you can now start working with. So it's not telling you that, okay, I've automatically given you the design. No, your computers are not smart. They are not smart, actually. They are one of the dumbest things on the planet, because they only do what you tell them to do. Even AI is not smart. So so that's that about the flex direction of column. Now, so if you go ahead now, like we are still styling, everybody has to have an input here. Now, looking at this now, it still does not look good. Why? It still doesn't look good, because what we say we want is that we want everything to be on a straight line like this, but somehow the links are still in the middle right here, so it doesn't look good enough. Now, how are we going to get this? How are we going to make sure that it's on that straight line that we are looking for? And that's not the question. The question is that I said everything needs to be on a straight line, right? But if you still look at it, see contact here, it's still overflowing, it's not there. So just look at something like this. Is this how your links are supposed to be on your mobile? Have you ever seen links like this on mobile? Check. You can check. This is a link. This is a link. How does this link? Do they look side by side, or they look on top of each other? So that means, what are you going to do here? You have to change this link from being side by side to on top of each other. So it's still the same thing you're going to do, but this time you're not targeting nav. You're targeting what? The links in the nav. So the links in the nav now has to have a flex direction of what? Colon 2. So now if you come back to your code and you check your nav, as you can see, your nav.links, display of flex, align items of center. So you're going to do the same thing. I'm going to have nav, right, dot links, and I'm going to give it a flex direction of colon, just to have the same thing. So if you check it out now, automatically you should have it on a straight line. So now it is fuller, almost better, but it still looks a little bit. It looks somehow. Eh? No, I'm not styling through CSS. Like, this is the mobile thing. This is the desktop. I'm just using this place to tell you that, okay, this is what we did in the desktop. Is it the same file? Still, I just split my screen into two. See, line 162. No, if you write it under, you're just changing the design, the initial design. You need to specify media query. That's why I said media query. Everything goes into the media query. You understand? Eh? Yeah. They are all okay. No, let me remove this. I think that thing is confusing us. See, they are all in the same. Can you see it? I just split my screen into two so that you can see the formal design, which is still on the same page, and the media query. You understand it now? So now, if you look at it, it looks better on mobile, right? But what I do not still like is the fact that, first of all, it's not 100% nice. Second of all, this one should not be here. It should be somewhere here. I mean, is that a bad design or a good design? You know what? I think you people should give me design inspo. Question on a design inspo. Yeah, give me. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Yes. In fact, the truth is that you will not have a choice. This thing, you have to just do it. Because man no like stress. You have to do it. You have to build for mobile, build for, like I said, your computer is not smart. It is what is garbage in, garbage out. It's what you give to it that's going to give to you. So yeah, if you want to use AI, it's fine. But the truth is that AI, now let me even explain how AIs are created. AIs are created based on, so they are trained based on existing information. So what am I saying? Someone has built an e-commerce website before. Then you now told your AI, build an e-commerce website for me. What AI does is that it searches the web, looks for all e-commerce websites that it can find, and build based on what they've done. You understand? Sometimes if you are using AI on your own code, it looks through your code, looks at your design, and build based on what you have done. Now imagine that your code is bad, or you have a very, very bad design. What happens? Sometimes some AI are sometimes very lazy. It looks at what you've done. If it is now bad, what happens? It gives you a bad result. You understand? As I said, the AI is, and one thing is that if you are working on a very big project, let's even say AI now gives you the best of results. How do you optimize it if you do not understand all of these things? Because trust me, you work on a lot of things, big projects, and if you do not understand these things and you want to like cut corner, you have problems going forward. So the best thing is understand it, then use AI later. I use AI too. Every developer right now uses AI. I use AI. In fact, almost every day I use AI. That's how it is. So just understand that you have to build each of these things individually. You don't do them once and expect that it works. You can use AI, shall everybody's there. So no, our graphic designer, please, how will this look better? You are a graphic designer, so you have to like
The link and icon. Normally, icon is supposed to be on the right hand.
oh, I don't understand. Like this link here, right here, we'll go to the left like this.
No, left.
To the yeah. I don't understand. Where is left? Where is right? This is my left.
The logo that should go to the left. It is the icon. Okay, the logo should go
to the left. Abi?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
To the top on the right.
on the right.
Then this one will be in the middle.
You can leave that. You can just that.
Okay, go ahead. It works. That also works, but it can't work on this one because automatically they are already space between. Let me tell you why they are already space between. See it. Nav links. Where is the nav? Can you see it? Justify control of what space around. So it's already like that. So even if you give it space, it's not looking good already. So you have to change the design. So what will happen now? Top left, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, two things, right? First of all, everybody's right. Secondly, okay, go ahead. That's the hamburger. But before we go to that hamburger, right, we need to first of all style how it is going to look. See, that's the thing. You don't just go ahead and give hamburger. Yes, you put the menu there. But what will now, okay, let's say you click on what will happen when you click on it? How will it look like? You have to first of all style it before wrapping it up in that three dot menu. You understand it now? So for us to do that, the best suggestion is to put this one on the left and leave this one in the middle. But first of all, we also need to increase this what's the name? Yeah, we need to bring it down a little so that it's going to at least cover 80% of the page. So what am I saying? We need to first of all increase it. Now I can go to the nav and give it the height of like 80%. So Yeah, okay, 90%. Oh, let's check if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll change it from percentage to VH. Okay, let's just change it to VH instantly. So 90 VH immediately. So it should have a now good. This is better. Now, one thing that we can do right now is we can now move this to the left, right? Probably give this a little bit of border under it. You know, all this like maybe you also have border under each of those links, right? Then we can let's wait for the light to come back on because I want everybody to see it. But before then, I hope everybody online understands this. Okay, Mr. Pius has a question. Plenty of people have questions. So I have issues with the code behind the profile picture. Okay, we'll get back to that, Mr. Shegun. And I noticed we are putting the CSS directly from the HTML page under the. We are not styling directly from the HTML page, Mr. Pius. We are not. We just created a media query inside of the CSS, and we are styling from that media query. So what am I saying? This is the CSS, but this is not the HTML. I just created. I can just split my screen again. Let me remove this so that everybody don't get confused. This is still the CSS file. Still CSS file. All I did was I created a media query in the CSS file. That was all I did. So we created media query in the CSS file. That was all we did. Nothing more than that. Right, I'm going to pause the recording and then we'll come back when we have. Okay, we'll pause it.